Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining today. Very good morning to all of you. And thank you for giving me time on this weekend. So, as you know, today I'm going to talk about uh, my 8-week program. But before we get to that, I also want to talk to you about what is the opportunity in the content writing space and why is it that some people make the most of it while others are not able to do so. So before you begin and I start sharing my screen, I'd love to know where you're signing in from. Um, so if you can drop in um, your location and what you do in the chat window, that'll be great. Okay, so we have Bangalore. Oh, I'm also based in Bangalore. Dehradun, Delhi, Mumbai. Okay, Himachal. Very nice. Okay, Jaipur. Hey, I'm from Jaipur. Bihar, Mumbai. Awesome. So we have a lot of people from a lot of um, different parts of the country. I would also love to know what are your aspirations and intentions as content writers, right? Why have you chosen to go with this field? What brought that around? So tell me your stories in the chat window. Money, I think that's a good motivator. I'm a Marwari, I love money. Um, okay, Christy wants to utilize content writing for different products and services in the education business. Okay, to express yourself. Someone loves to read and write. Money, I love writing. Uh, to learn more and how to get high-end clients. Okay, that's a good intention. Super. Uh, wow. So there's a lot of thoughts coming in. I'm going to now start sharing my screen because I don't want to take up too much of your weekend as well. And I want to leave a lot of time for questions later as well. So give me 1 minute. But please keep it interactive, and I would love it if you keep sharing your thoughts in the chat window. Yeah. So another question, how many of you are here for the first time, like in one of my sessions? Okay, quite a few of you were there for the first time. No worries, which is why I have a bit of an introduction slide. So I'll take a minute to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm Supriya, and I run a company called the Upgrade Consulting. It is a marketing agency, and I primarily cater to B2B technology companies. That's my main niche. And I also curate the Content Collective, which is what the 8-week intensive is a part of. So I'll tell you the genesis of the Content Collective, how it started, where it is at later in the webinar also. But I started my career 16 years ago as, a fresh trainee into the IT world. My first company was Satyam, where I was working as a business analyst. And from then, my career has gone through some weird twists and turns and brought me here as, a marketing agency owner and a coach. Um, but this journey has been interesting in various ways because um, no matter what I did, I finally ended up in a place that I really enjoy and I love doing. And I started my entrepreneurial career in 2015, which is sometime 8 years ago. But before that, I was heading thought leadership marketing for Wipro globally. And as you know, that's a multi-billion dollar company, which had a great focus on content creation. And as the you know person responsible for creating thought leadership, I had $1 million budget myself to uh, run our content efforts. And I thought that's a good piece of the pie to get my hands on. And that's why I decided that instead of a salary job, I'm going to quit and I'm going to start my own agency so that I'm on the receiving end of those budgets that big corporates have for their content creation efforts. So that's how my journey into entrepreneurship started, right? And over the course of time, as you can see, my opinions and thoughts have been featured in a lot of places. Very recently, I did an interview with the Economic Times, which talked about how gig economy is really a great opportunity for all of us to uh, monetize our skills while doing so at our leisure and our, um, doing more for less kind of an approach. And there's a lot more that I talk about it, which is available on my YouTube channel, and I give you some, links that you can access also as a part of this webinar. Yeah. So till date, I have founded two marketing agencies. One was in 2015, like I said, which scaled up to $1 million in just 3 years. And then my son was born. So I quit that agency because for me, work-life balance is like super important. And I was doing 10 hours, 12 hours a day. So I said, can't do this. And some of you who've been here are like, who don't know me, I'm a single mom. My husband passed away in an accident. So it was important for me to focus on my son. So I restarted in 2018 from scratch, zero clients, zero money, etc., etc. And I'll show you how that journey went, right? But ultimately, what I wanted to say was, I've done this multiple times over, and I know how to make big money in the marketing space as a content creator. And hopefully, I will show you the value of doing that in the upcoming uh, session, right? Also, just to be very clear, today is not a value webinar. If you want to attend one of those, then there are many sessions I do. I did one which talked about how to go from 0 to 1 lakh in monthly income just a couple of days ago. So you can go to my YouTube channel, check that out, or attend it the next time that's happening. Today is about my 8-week session, so I'll be talking more about that, right? So again, if you are new here, there is a free 30-day email course that is available on this link. You can, Fahim, if you're around, maybe you can put that in the chat window. I would highly, highly recommend that you go through this course because I've got a lot of positive feedback on it. And honestly, this has literally everything that you need to know to get into the highly paid club. Okay. And there's a lot of free learning content on my YouTube channel. Plus, I do a lot of posts on Instagram for some insights to budding content writers. Yeah. Okay. So today we're going to talk about two things in context of the program itself, but they are one, obviously, how do you earn a consistent 7-figure income as a content writer? And second is how do you get started on that journey, right? Uh, and it is in both contexts, right? If you're new to content writing, how many of you are new to content writing? Can you tell me in the chat window? Um, so if you're new to content writing, just type new. And if you have some experience in content writing, just let me the number of years experience. Okay, so quite a lot of you are new content writers. Amazing. Okay, that's cool. 2 years, 1 month. 1 month is fairly new. 1 year, 3 years. Amazing. So I'm going to cover both of these things uh, because I sort of feel that there are fundamental issues that we need to take care of before we can taste success as a content writer. So this webinar sort of talks about what are the challenges that people face and what are the beliefs that sort of they get stuck into and how to break them also, right? So here's the thing, right? What do we all want? We want to build a thriving content career as a content writer, right? And what does that thriving career mean? It has to allow us to live our lives the way we want with a consistent income, right? That being key, that money should flow in every month with a regular frequency without us having to worry about, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills? Um, but unfortunately, that is not a reality for a lot of content writers out there. And trust me, I run a community of 30,000 writers. And almost every day, new people get added, and they talk about how they are earning literally peanuts for the amount of effort that they're putting in, right? Um, and why is that happening, right? There's so much potential in content writing. So I went and I did a bit of research in just the next few years, the content marketing market will be around $584 billion, right? That's a massive, massive chunk of market, which means you're already spending hundreds of billions of dollars on content marketing today. And content writing is a big chunk of content marketing, right? Because unless you have that base asset created, what are you going to market? Yeah. And if you only look at a tiny piece of that, right, just a blog part, which I talk about because most writers end up writing SEO blogs, 7 million blogs are published every day. Yeah. So someone is sitting out there and writing it, and someone is getting paid for it. And that can be you also. Okay. But, um, okay, so before I get to the but, this is a seller's market. And my clients often tell me, like, they're literally desperate for good content writers. Okay. Every month, one of the clients will call me and say, Supriya, do you know any content writer? We have an opening, we want to hire someone, but it's very difficult to find somebody that will fit their requirements, right? Uh, Even in a seller's market, and I don't know if any of you have done economics in whatever studies that you did, a seller's market means that if you're good at what you do, you can charge whatever you want, right? You can name your price and still have work spilling over. So this is the first cardinal rule of being highly paid content writer. You've got to be good at writing. Yeah. That is the value proposition that you're offering to your clients. So you can't be a mediocre or just an average writer and expect people will pay you that money. So skill building is important, okay? Because all said and done, it's a very crowded market. There are millions of content writers out there. So how do you stand out? You stand out by the value proposition you offer to the client by saying, I'm the best at this. You can rely on me to deliver things on time, every time, on point, on quality, and I will never leave you in the lurch, right? So, how are you building that image is also very critical, right? How you're building that skill is also very critical. And once you have that, then you can literally name your price. So, today, one of my clients pays me 80,000 rupees, 80,000 rupees to write 1,500 words. Okay. Whereas some people are getting paid $1,000 to write the same 1,500 rupees. Can you see the difference? And that difference is because I have worked really hard to establish myself as one of the best in this niche, in this industry. Yeah. So, and still there is work spilling over, right? Um, and there are lots of content writers out there who are doing that, and I'll tell you some stories. But still, most of them are stuck at this 1 to 2 rupee point, which they're not able to breach. Okay. And this is just, some data I got from the internet in terms of, what are entry level, intermediate, and expert people are able to charge. But you can see it's like very different from what I'm able to charge my clients. My average rate is now 40 rupees a word if we translate that into, and that was one client, which was probably a little bit of an outlier, but typically for everyone else, I charge around 40 rupees a word. So you can see how much difference that is compared to what most people in the market are getting. Yeah. And I did a poll in the, uh, you know, community as well on the WhatsApp group. And 58% people, when they joined, were stuck at less than 2 rupees a word, which is insane, which means you're writing thousands of words every month and barely making like 10, 20K out of it. And we all know in today's day and age, that's just not enough to sustain any sort of quality of life, right? So how do we break away from this? Yeah. The first thing is to sort of introspect, right? Why is this happening? Why am I not able to break away from this low bottom of the bucket content and move into premium leagues? The first thing is, of course, to understand what is the content market scape like, right? What are people paying for? So a lot of people come to me and say, Supriya, I need to learn how to write SEO blog. And trust me, I have never written, um, like I know zero about SEO. I know nothing about SEO. And despite that, I'm able to charge this amount, right? That is because the value I bring to the table is not how well can I stuff keywords, but what are the ideas I can generate for them, right? How exciting, engaging, reader friendly I can make their content. Yeah. So one is definitely you need to undergo a mindset shift. Don't think about volume work. The more you get into volumes, like, okay, let me write 40,000 words a month because you're getting paid, let's say 1 rupee a word also, the quality obviously drops, right? Because your cognitive bandwidth, your brain is so overloaded that you're not able to write quality stuff. You're not able to come up with ideas. You're just writing like a robot. Okay. And now robots are already there to write. So AI is there, which can do that grunt work very effectively. So what is your value then? Your value is in the ideas you generate. And that's what we have to start thinking through. Yeah. So one is what type of content you're writing. So every company has a pyramid of content. There's a bottom of bucket content that they need to generate and churn out really fast for their SEO or whatever ranking purposes. Then there is a middle bucket content where they're talking about brochures, case studies, web pages, etc., which aid their sales efforts. And on the top of the pyramid is premium content, which is where they want to showcase their thought leadership to say, here's why we know best, here's why we are so amazing. These are the articles that get published in media. These are the articles that um, they sort of maybe make a journal and send out to their clients. And that is where this is what their leaders talk about, and that is where the most money is. Okay. But to go from bottom of bucket to top of bucket takes skill and takes time. And it takes the willingness to show up day after day to deliver on that. Okay. But coming back to why people are still earning less, uh, it is because they're not able to meet these expectations, right? They're not able to deliver value, especially consistently on time, right? Just giving one great piece of writing every once in a while is not enough. You have to show up every day and you have to keep doing it day after day. Plus, you have to meet your deadlines, right? Today, the impression of freelancers in the market is so bad that people don't want to give work to freelancers. They're like, I don't know when this person is just going to leave me in the middle and run away. So it becomes your job as a freelancer to make sure that the client trusts you, make sure that the client can rely on you. And once you start doing that, it will totally reflect on your earnings. See, because everyone hates change. Okay. If I'm a person you like to work with, you're not going to go find other vendors just so that you can save a rupee or two here. Okay. You want that familiarity. You want that I understand your business. So you don't want the hassle of explaining the same thing to someone over and over again, right? Um, and that's why they will stick to you. So the minute you build that relationship, you have a client for life. Okay. I work with only 6 clients, and I'll tell you how much money I make every year. Only 6 clients. I don't go doing cold emails. I don't go running around finding new clients every day. Just with those 6 clients, I'm able to make a ton of money. Yeah. So, and because I've done this, right, continuously and consistently delivered value to my clients, this is what, my clients end up sending me, right? They increase the amount of money they pay me. They block my time already in advance. And this one especially, right? A tiny social media post, 40 words, I charge 2,750 rupees per post. Okay, it's 40 words. And so this client WhatsApp me asking, um, are you gonna really charge 22,000 for 8 posts? Uh, so I said, yeah, I charge that money if I do the post myself because social media is annoying. Okay. But he said, okay, fine, send me the code, right? And I went ahead and did these 8 posts. Took me maybe half an hour and I made 22,000, right? So he could have gone to a cheaper person, but he did not because he knew that the 8 posts I will deliver will be something that he will not have to edit. He will not have to come back for multiple iterations. They'll just go through in one go. So building this confidence in your client is your responsibility. Okay. And when clients move, they take me along, right? So one client recently joined a new company and they just said, okay, let's start your registration. Another one paid me like $700 for 2,500 words. And then you can also expand in different areas, right? So one client that I've been working for the past 6 years, I told them that I've recently started doing videos, and he said, um, like I said, I'll charge you 2.2 lakhs per minute. And he said, that's fine, right? So 2.2 lakhs for a minute of video in which I'm just doing the scripting and I'm outsourcing the rest to someone else builds a good source of passive income for me. Yeah. So these are kind of things that can happen once you start gaining and building your client's trust. So yeah, I mean, it's about screenshots. So this is a fairly old screenshot. I just have till 8th of January, but we recently did our accounts. And I have made 1.5 crores last year by content writing. Okay. So it is totally possible to do it. Um, and you can also get into this highly paid club. But there are like there's no magic wand, there's no formula. It's not an easy journey. You have to put in the work, and you can talk to any of the 8-week intensive folks who've joined the program in the past. Um, there's a lot of focus on quality, okay? Because it's the it's the same thing, right? If you go out to buy something, a product, you are not going to pay more for a inferior quality, let's say a shirt, right? You want that quality, you want that value for the money that you pay out. And it's the same with clients. If they're giving you big money, they want big value out of it. Now, how do you deliver that big value is the question that most content writers don't have answers to. Okay. So I also want to give a bit of backstory because a lot of people think, oh, this is so easy for her, she's sitting in a nice house and just talking or jabbering away in English, so must have come really easy. But that was not the case. The picture you see is the room I grew up in. I spent from when I was 6 years old till I was 18. I stayed in this one room with me, my sister, and my mom. And the only thing that my mother spent on, she worked 2 jobs to give us a good education, was our education. So she sent us to one of the best schools in the city, but everything else was secondhand. Like if you can see this room, we didn't know what privacy meant. We didn't have a dining table. This bed was where we did our homework, we ate our meals. Um, you know, three of us slept, and we had this one rickety plastic chair for in case a guest came over. Yeah. Clothes were secondhand, books were secondhand, but she spent a lot of money on our education and she spent a lot of money on building our reading habit. So every Sunday she'd go to this Sunday market, where there was like these secondhand bookstores. And my mother and nobody in my family could speak English really. And she didn't know what she was buying, but she would buy the fattest book that she could find in English and she'll buy it and come back. And then me and my sister would read it, reread it multiple times, right? So our reading habit started really early, and that has helped me build the business that I have built today, right? So from this one room place, I have moved to a 6 bedroom house today. Um, but I feel the foundations of what I'm able to do today were laid in the habit that my mother built, right? That you've got to uh, that reading habit, which so a lot of people ask me, Supriya, what are the writing courses you've taken? It's like I have never taken a writing course. It was just the effort in one, I still read. Reading is a big, big, big requirement in terms of the work I do. And if you want to be a writer, you've got to read also, right? And the second is writing. And I keep telling this to my 8-week folks also. I can talk till my throat is like choked, but you will not learn how to be a great writer unless you write yourself. So reading, writing, and grabbing opportunities when they come your way is super important. Okay. Another example I'll give you. I started writing books for people. Okay. For a 30,000 word book, I charge around 4 to 5 lakh rupees. Now, when the first book came my way, all of us have this imposter syndrome, right? Will I be able to do this? I have never done this before. I had all those questions in mind, but I didn't say no to that project. I had some belief that I will be able to turn this around. And I took on that first book project that came my way, right? And it was a struggle writing that book because I had never written a book before, but I've made it happen. And that gave me the confidence to go ahead and write the next book and the next book and the next book. And I must have written around 10 books in the last 6 years, right? So that is grabbing the opportunity when that comes your way and not being hesitant in saying, will I be able to do this or will I not be able to do this? Yeah. So a lot of it goes into um, becoming a success story. And it's really important that you put in the hard work, right? So that's what I keep again harping on, that success comes with ownership, right? You have got to own your success. No course, no coach, no mentor can make you successful if you don't own your success, right? And I have seen that in many places, right? Now, through a lot of community, I got connected to multiple coaches, and they have the same thing, right? We can tell you what you need to do, but doing it is your responsibility. Okay. We are all adults here. We're not children. We're not, there's no spoon feeding that's going to help you. So if you're committed to really taking ownership and becoming a successful content writer, then you and I can have a discussion, right? So how did my journey work, right? And I did simple three things, and this is what you can also do, right? First is, because most of you are new, and I think this is really important for you. And even if you're experienced and things are not working out for you, then you need to reassess this, right? First, figure out the gap in the market, right? What is it that people mostly struggle with in no matter which niche you are? And I'm of the opinion that every niche has a lot of money, but how do you find those right clients who are willing to pay that money is the question, and how do you present yourself to those clients is the question, right? So first thing is to figure out the gap in the market. Second is practice your skill and test it out. So I'm not saying jump willy-nilly into, okay, I'm going to leave everything that I do today and become a content writer. Do it as a side hustle, right? Try out a few things, reach out to your friends, family, acquaintances, do some work for them, build some case studies, and then test out what is the appetite of people in the market for your skill, right? And then finally, once you got that little confidence, then jump in and build a personal brand, which is what, right? This person is credible, this person is reliable, this person is someone I can work with because they know my business the best. Yeah. So I explain all of this again in the program, but I'm just giving you a glimpse of how you need to map out your journey. Okay. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, by the way, I just, put them in the Q&A box. So towards the end, I will take all the questions. Um, and, we can discuss how things are going to, like, whatever you need, we can talk about it. So I did these three things, and my business really built very quickly. Like I said, in my first agency, we were quickly able to scale. We were just 4 people, we made 1 crore. We hired more people, we made almost close to 2 crores. And then when we were around 40 people, we almost reached $1 million, is 4, 5 crores. I just written approximate numbers. And then I had to do it all over again, right? When I quit this agency, I came out with a non-compete agreement where my partner said, if you start something of your own, you can't reach out to the people we have been working with for the next 2 years. And literally, the people we were working with were all the people I knew because we had harnessed our network to build this first business. And I was like, okay, now what do I do? So I started reaching out to connections of connections and said, okay, I can't work with you, but can you recommend someone else? And the first project I got as a freelancer was a real estate company. And they said, have you ever written about real estate? And I had never written it. And I've not even ever bought a house. So I don't know what real estate is like, right? I'm not a house buyer. I believe more in the stock market. So, so I said, no, I haven't, but I can do a sample for you. So I'm giving you a lesson here, okay? Anytime somebody comes and they're giving you an opportunity, take it. Even if you've not done it before, but be honest and say, I have not done it, but I can do a sample for you and you can decide whether that works for you. Most of the time, people will say yes, and they did say yes also. And that time, this was in 2018, they paid me 3,000 bucks for a 700-word blog, which was quite a dip from what I was earning in my previous company, what we were charging. But it was my first client as a freelancer, and I really needed to get started. I had a 3-month baby with me, single parent. I needed to make money. But that got the ball rolling, right? I must have done some 50, 60 blogs for them and more clients kept coming in. Another person connected me to this agency. They wanted some Google ads, they wanted some Amazon A plus copy, and they wanted some blogs, and they were paying me 5K a blog, right? And some 30,000 a month retainer for those ads, etc. So slowly business built, and in the first year, despite not knowing anyone, I was able to make 40 lakhs. Second year, 80 lakhs. Third year, 1 crore. And that's where I hit a uh, wall. Because as a content writer, what do you have? Bandwidth, right? You trade your time for money, which is restrictive in the sense that if I don't write a certain number of articles a month, my income goes down, right? How do I scale beyond that? That's when I need to hire people. When I need to start building my agency all over again. And I looked and I looked. I scanned like hundreds of resumes, lots of samples, interviewed like 60 plus people, but I could not find anyone who I could rely on to, write good content or do a good job or take ownership or accountability, right? I had one one guy on board for over a year. I paid him 80,000 a month to write content, and he didn't even write anything worth like even 30, 40,000 I wasn't able to get from my clients for his work, right? So obviously we had to let him go because he was not even making equivalent to his salary. So I couldn't find good people at all. And that's when I met Didi, whom a lot of you might know. And I told him that I need to hire people and I can't find them because, I have a lot of work which I'm not able to take on. I had left around, this was in 2021, um, no, 2022, and I had left 25 lakhs worth of business on the table because I just did not have the bandwidth to do it, right? And he tried to help me find writers. I'm sure some of you might have got job descriptions from him saying, Supriya is looking for writers. But nothing turned up. And then he said, why don't you train them yourself if you're so finicky? And that's how the Content Collective was born last year, right? Until date, 30,000 people have taken my 30-day free course. They've really loved it. And there's some lot of good feedback coming in on the course. And like I said, in the first screen that I showed you, if you're new here, you can go and take that course also and see what it takes to become a highly paid content writer. Okay. And they wanted more. So 70% of the people who joined in, and I'm a very data-driven person, so I had a, form that they had to initially fill. 70% of them said that they want personal mentorship from me. And therefore, the 8-week intensive was launched. I've trained over 100 plus people and they've got opportunities to work with me. Uh, any guesses how much they made collectively? You can put it in the chat window. Just a guess and quick, so I know that you're listening. Okay. 1 lakh, okay. 1 CR, 80K, a lakh per month. So till date, I have shared 35 plus lakhs of opportunities with the group. And it's a win-win for me and them, right? Because the more they are able to take my bandwidth, extend my bandwidth, the more work I'm able to take on. Yeah. So I'll show you some of the case studies also, but here's how you can get started on your journey as a highly paid content writer. So here are 5 things that you really need to get, um, need to understand. Okay. And the first is super important. And this is what highly paid writers know. And I'm not the only highly paid writer around. I have my own inspirations who've been doing this maybe a lot longer than I have. But they know that low rates don't guarantee more work or quality work. Okay. Clients who compete on cost are the most annoying clients ever. Okay. And they are the least likely to stick because for them, the budget is more important than quality. And you don't want those clients. Okay. The minute you're able to find quality clients, the whole equation will shift. Okay. Um, and there's a great story which let me go and tell you that story. So this is Dhanya's story. And before she joined the Content Collective, she was earning, 50 to 80 paisa per word. Okay. Um, she was getting a lot of work, but it was, you know, low value work. And she joined the project. She was good, but she was not finding the right clients. So within the first month of the cohort, when she implemented some of the things that I told her, and I could see that reflecting in her writing, she got a project worth 1.5 lakhs. Yeah. Now she could have continued that, you know, 50 to 80 paisa kind of a journey. She was getting work. There was like, it wasn't that she wasn't finding clients, but they were not the right clients. So it is important to know that low rates don't guarantee more or quality work. Yeah. So every project that you get, sort of evaluate it, right? Is this what I want to do, or can I do something better? And evaluate it against your skills and capabilities also. Okay. You can't just randomly name prices. They have to be consistent with the value that you're delivering. And there's another webinar which I do. It's called the Ascend framework, which really talks about how do you do that assessment. Okay. Second is uh, you don't need a degree in English or journalism to be a writer, okay? You can be anyone coming from any background, but if you put in enough effort, you would be able to um, make a career in writing. So look at me. I don't have a degree in English. I don't have a degree in journalism. I've done my engineering. I've done my MBA. I've worked in the corporate space for 8 years. Writing just happened to me. Okay. And that's when I figured, wow, this is something I really enjoy doing, and I decided to make a career out of it. And I feel that's a lot of that's true for a lot of people as well, right? And also coming from a specific background makes you more of an expert in that area, and you just have to like put the words together uh, to really and present them well to really get good money for it. Okay. So there's another case of Fahim. I'm sure many of you might have met him or known about him. He also manages the Content Collective community for me. When he came to me, he has zero experience in content writing. He actually was into furniture, okay, furniture for hotels, etc., and based outside in Dubai, I think. Um, and due to COVID, his business was impacted and he decided to move back to India. And then he was trying to figure out what do I do? So he joined my cohort. And in the second month itself, he started earning like 40,000 and he was good. So I hired him full time and he's still on my rolls. Um, and since then, he's earned over 9 lakhs with my company, right? So you don't need to like specifically have certain qualifications to be a successful content writer. You can be anyone as long as you put in the effort to upskill, you can do it. Yeah. The third thing is chasing more clients actually loses you money, right? And this a lot of people in multiple businesses don't understand. Like I said, I made 1.5 crores with 6 clients. Okay. Um, just yesterday I raised an invoice for 22 lakhs to just one client. And this just the new financial year has just started. So what happens when you chase um more clients, right? You have only so much amount of time, right, with you. The more time you spend chasing new clients, you have to spend that much more time connecting with them, building a relationship with them, getting them to trust you, getting them to give you the really lucrative projects and not just foot in the door kind of project. And once that is established and you move to another client, your delivery sort of suffers, right? The quality of the writing you're doing for this client that you built up trust with goes down because now you're busy building trust with someone else. And that affects how that relationship grows over time. Yeah. If you focus on a quality 5, 6 clients, you get to know their business better. You understand their business better than they do, and their internal teams keep churning, right? So you are that one steady, lighthouse that they can come to and say, "You tell us what we should do. How has it been done before?" And you become more of a consultant to them, and that's when the rates really shoot up. Yeah. So Don't bother about, you know, sending thousands of cold emails. Try and find those good five, six clients that can meet your revenue goals month in and month out, right? Another example for that is Sai, and most of you might have also come across her. When she came to me again, she has zero experience in content writing. Second month, I gave her a project that was worth 1.5 lakh. Consistently now, she bills me over a lakh every month. Um, and I'm likely the only client she's needed to work with because I send so much work her way that sometimes she has to say, no, Sophia, I don't have the bandwidth to do it, right? Other than me, she might take one or two more clients, but that would like literally um, exceed the revenue goals that might she might have for the month. She has already started outsourcing work to other people. So recently I gave her a website project, around 50 pages of web content, which she's outsourcing to people and getting done because now I have enough trust inside to deliver what I need, right? So that's how your pipeline gets built. And with few clients also you're able to make a lot of money. Fourth is you don't have to be good at English, right? And the course, the 8 week intensive, is not designed to be an English language program. It is delivered in English, but literally anyone can um, leverage the concepts to make money. Yeah, um, because vernacular is a great market. It's booming literally, and you can make a lot of money. And I have a good story to tell here, and this is from Vinay. And he sent me this text, okay, on WhatsApp. So I just copy pasted it here. Um, and he was initially very, hesitant that I don't know English. Um, he didn't speak on calls, but he was imbibing those concepts, right? And he sent me this. So he went for an interview where they were offering a certain salary for writers for a vernacular publication. And he was the only one where they gave the assignment to test what they, uh, you know, uh, to get a sample from these people, how they can write, how quickly they can turn around. He was the only one who went and asked some questions, right? Um, and that impressed those guys so much that they first gave him the job, and second, they doubled the offer. Okay. And this is like this entire thing that he's profusely thanking me to give him that insight that you need to talk to your clients and get the right brief because that makes your writing efforts better, right? So even in vernacular, there are opportunities, whether you're in a job or whether you're a freelancer, to make more money, do more for, do less and earn more kind of a thing if you grab certain concepts right. And the last one is that which I said originally also. You don't have to jump headfirst into it. You can make it a great side hustle if you are already in a job or doing something. And that's the example of Vijay, who again has been working with me for some time. He's actually uh, principal of a PU college, and he's also a blogger. He's written hundreds of blogs, but he was not monetizing it. And he wanted to explore professional content writing and start making money from the writing he did. And we started doing some projects together, and he's earned 4 lakhs just with me. I don't know if other clients, how much money he's making with them, but he's doing it as a side hustle, right? So he has a full-time job, and on the side, he writes a few pieces and he makes money, which is not a bad way to get started and assess the opportunity. Is content writing giving me more money than what I'm earning right now? Then yes, quit and do it full time. So these are just some of the uh, things that I wanted to tell you, that it's possible to become a good, highly paid content writer, but those are the things that you need to really think through and to implement, right? So first is learn how to write the good stuff, okay? That is a non-negotiable. You can't be an average writer and expect to get paid amazing rates, okay? Then create an awesome portfolio because you have to show your value. Today, we are in a sea of millions of writers. Okay, you have to stand out. How do you stand out? By creating an amazing portfolio and saying, look at my work, look at what I have done, look at the results I've created. Yeah. Reach out to the right clients. Because, like I said, clients who don't have the budgets are not right. right clients. Clients who don't appreciate the value of content are not the right clients. So who are the right clients in your niche? Figure that out, reach out to them, and then seal the deal, right? Negotiate, see what they want. How do you get a foot in the door and close that is really important. And finally, once you're in the door, retain the clients, okay, which means deliver value consistently. So retain clients with great service and continuous value. And these four things essentially are what will make you a successful content writer. Yeah. So I've literally given you everything that you need to do, plus you can sign in for the 30-day free course as well. So you can either free to do it yourself, which might take you a longer time, or you can join the 8-week intensive. So I'm going to take a bit to talk about the 8-week intensive, and then I will happily take your questions. And like I said, please don't put the questions in the chat window, put them in the Q&A box so I can take them at the end, right? So the program is fairly simple. But it's very intense, okay? So you have 8 weeks of intense learning, and we start with goal setting because I'm a strong believer that unless you know what you need to do, you are just, you know, fumbling around in the dark, okay? You want to do so many things, but nothing will materialize. So putting that number to where you want to get to is super important. And in the first week, I also show you how I do it year on year. How do I set my goals? How do I devise a plan on exactly how I'm going to get to those goals, right? We can deviate from the plan like 10%, but pretty much that roadmap takes you um, to the intended revenue that you're looking at, right? Second week is about understanding the writing challenges. Now, all of you might have dabbled a little bit in content writing, right? That's why you're here. But people don't understand why writing is so difficult and why are they not able to deliver on what the client wants. So in week 2, we are talking about how to overcome the challenges that writing innately presents to you. Okay. Then we move to week 3 and 4, which are super important. In fact, week 5 as well, right? 3, 4, 5 are really important weeks where we are, and this is completely based on my experience, okay? This is not stuff that I've downloaded from Google and presented for you. This is exactly what I do for my clients, okay? In each and every piece of content I write, and you will see a lot of demos of my writing process, that how I am going and writing a live piece of content for you guys, right? So there are lots of demos on my writing process as well. So what is it that clients really want? How to decode it and how to deliver it, right? So 3, 4, 5, we talk about intent. How do you ask questions? This asking questions is what got Vinay double his salary, right? What are the fundamentals of good writing? Okay, and I'm not giving you formulas or any structures or anything. I'm giving you the ability to think of content as unique, individual, creative pieces and come up with amazing stuff. How to tell better stories, how to do the right research, how to do it quickly, right? Because you have to be fast in delivering content. You can't sit on a piece of writing for 5 days and say, oh, this is all I could do in 5 days, because you only get paid for that much work then. So how do you churn out more content day on day without burning yourself out, without compromising on the quality of content? So that's what we cover in these weeks. Week 6, we touch upon various forms of content. So how to write emails, video scripts, website pages, blogs, articles we already covered. So we'll talk about social media posts. So we'll cover all of that. And then we actually come to the important part of finding clients, right? Finding the right clients. So there is how do you create your portfolio? So everything that you write as a part of this, there are 11 assignments that you have to do. But I don't use any of those assignments. They're your assignments to create your portfolio. So by the end of it, you have a good portfolio to showcase to any of the clients that you're reaching out to, right? So your portfolio is ready, and then we talk about how do you go about finding clients my way, okay, not the cold emailing way, but how I have consistently done it year on year and over 2 successful companies. So I'll show you my way to client acquisition. And then finally, we sort of get some systems and processes in place for you where we talk about how do you price your services. We give you some documentation templates, like how do you do contracts or NDAs or invoices and things like that. And we also talk about a very important thing, which is ethics of a professional content writer. Okay. So all of this is like given to you in 8 weeks. And here's like a laundry list of what you get. So there are 18 recorded sessions. Plus, you get 4 live calls with me. I say 4 because in a matter of 2 months, it's 4 calls. But what I'm doing now is I'm making it a perpetual cohort. So over a year, you will get 24 calls with me. Um, and just to get you an idea of how much that is worth, today, if I do a session for a client, like if they want me to come and talk to their people about what thought leadership is, I charge 50,000 rupees for 1 hour. Okay. And you're getting 24 hours of my time to ask questions, to get your, content reviewed. But these are joint calls with alumni and new batches. So you have to be present. You have to be vocal because, you've also got to learn how to present yourself in front of clients, right? Because that's also super important. But that aside, you get 16 live calls with the program mentor. So every week you will have 2 calls where the mentors will take you step by step through program, answer any questions that you might have, which are immediate and pressing. And then I would also build on that in my calls. You also get 60 plus hours of recordings. And you get lots of guides, worksheets to apply the concepts that you've learned. You become a part of this exclusive WhatsApp group where I share opportunities as and when they come my way. And you get preference for those writing opportunities, right? And here's a disclaimer because I want to be very honest and very transparent. Preference is not a guarantee, okay? I will share opportunities, but it's a democratic process. So I'll share an opportunity and I'll ask you to share your samples and your quote, okay? Only if your sample matches my requirement and your quote matches the price I'm willing to pay, then you get the project. Okay. Otherwise, you don't. So it's a preference. It is your responsibility to make sure that you get that project over everyone else, which means upskill, learn how to write better, and learn how to quote appropriately, right? You, of course, get multiple practice assignments to learn all this. So, like I said, you have 11 assignments and all that you'll have to do. And the mentors will give feedback on each and every one's assignment so you can improve and make those better. Okay. So that's pretty much what the program covers. And it is not something that you can just pay and join. It is an application-based program, and the applications are now open. So here's a link to the form. Let me actually share that in the chat window. Um, so if you are interested, you can send in your application to this by filling this form. And this is an important process, right? Because one of the good things that has happened is the WhatsApp group. Okay. It is an amazing community of brilliant writers and brilliant people who are there to support each other, help each other. They form these bonds and accountability groups, and they're learning and growing with each other and collaborating on multiple projects, right? And I don't want to spoil the community. So once you send the application, Fahim will call you. Uh, so one is we understand, then he'll call you to find out if you are a good fit with this community that we're trying to build. And if that is the case and you're okay with, the kind of time commitment, the kind of fee and everything that goes into it, then you're more than welcome to come and join the next batch, which is starting in June, right? So if you have any questions, you can, on the logistics of the program, which is what is the fee, what is the date, etc., you can reach out to Fahim. I have put the link to the form in the chat window. Um, and I have also put Fahim's email ID and contact number in the chat window. And Fahim, if you are here, please say hi to everyone so they can know uh, who you are, right? So that is it when it comes to what it takes to be a highly paid content writer and how I can help you do that. Now I'm happy to take questions, which I'm looking at the Q&A window to, answer, okay? Do I have any foreign clients? What is the difference in expectations of Indian clients and foreign clients? So it's a good question, Kaushik. I have 90% of my clients are Indian. So a lot of content writers think that the big money is only in the US, but that's not the case. Indian clients also pay well for good quality content. And I have written for every industry. I've written for lifestyle, perfumes, wines, detergents, real estate, like I told you, and tech is one of the bread and butter kind of thing that I do, and coaching. And everybody has paid the prices that I have quoted for them. So there's definitely money everywhere. US, definitely, because you quote in dollars, you get more money. I have clients in Singapore, um, and Malaysia. I also worked with a couple of coaches in the US. So yes, market is everywhere. It's just a matter of what is your strategy, right? What is the market you want to tap? What is the perception you want to create for yourself? So that's up to you how you go to market, right? I'm getting 60 paisa per word. How can I switch to 8 to 9 rupees per word? Like I said, first introspect, right? Why are you getting low rates? There are very few reasons for it, okay? The first reason is, and it's going to hit hard, but I'm going to say it anyway. Your quality of writing is not good, okay? And that you can only understand once you open yourself to feedback, and which is what we do a lot in the 8 week intensive. Everything is on feedback to your writing, right? How are you writing? How can you make it better? So first understand what is the quality of your writing. Is it worth only 60 paisa, or can you go to 8 to 9 rupees per word? Is it worth that? Right? If once you've determined the quality of writing, yes, it is worth 8 to 9 rupees, then are you going to the right clients? And I give this example sometimes that if you have the Kohinoor and you go to a village to sell it, people can't buy it, right? Because they might appreciate the shiny diamond, the size of the diamond, but they don't have the money to pay for it, right? So are you going to the right clients is the second question, right? So if you're able to do figure these two things out, right? Quality and the right clients. Anyone can jump from any value to a different value. Like Dhanya jumped from 50 paisa to easily 5 rupees a word now. So yes, this is also possible, but bridge that gap. Okay. Uh, which one should I focus more on for getting high paid clients? Cold email or LinkedIn DMs? LinkedIn DMs. Uh, what I most struggle from is how to find the right prospect who can turn into my potential client. So again, this is a part of the 8 week intensive, the session on finding clients. And what I tell people is you have to plan, okay? Who is the ideal client? What is the expertise? So today, if I am a technical content writer, okay, if I write on tech content, if I go to a perfume brand and say, because I have written great tech content, I will write great perfume content, they will not believe me, right? I have to show them the value. Yeah. So should my TG be perfume clients? Maybe not. Okay. If someone comes to me and says, can you do this? I will not say no because I don't say no to opportunities. But will I actively go looking for them? Probably not. Right. So to find clients, I literally list down companies. These are the 5 companies I want to work with, right? If one of my clients goes away, I know who's the next I want to target. Second is LinkedIn DM is great, but the better thing is to activate your network. Who is the person you know? Who's the person they know? And because that builds innate trust, right? Today, if I tell you, oh, go to that shop because that, serves like some amazing dosas, you will, and we do that, right? We look at Zomato reviews, we look at Swiggy reviews, we look at Amazon reviews before we buy anything. That's the same with service industry also. If you come recommended by someone, people are more likely to give you work because there's that element of trust. The other person is not going to recommend a bad person to me, right? So look for recommendation. That's the best way to find high paying clients. Okay. Cold emails, I sort of feel it's like a rabbit hole. You put in a lot of effort, you get little measly things out of it, but some people have great experience. I just don't think it's worth the effort. So I hope that answered your question. Uh, content refers to text, image, video. Here in this course, are we referring only to text? Uh, so we are covering video scripts. We are not creating video content. We are looking at copy headlines, but we are not looking at graphic design. Okay. How to optimize content to different social media posts. So we cover a little bit of that in social media. Uh, you can do affiliate marketing using content, but I don't cover it. My course is not for people writing their own blogs, and because a lot of element of that is digital marketing, which I don't cover. My course is for people who want to uh, get paid to write for other people, where I feel is more money. And when you sign up for the 30-day email course, you will also see like these different forms of making money that I talk about. And I clearly say I only talk about writing for other people to make money. Okay. How to sell education toys, creative kits, robotic kits too. Yes, it is possible. A lot of companies do that. I don't think I can define all of that right now, but yeah, I mean, that's totally doable. Mm. How to start content writing and how to learn it. Where can I have a demo of it? So there is on my YouTube channel, there are quite a bit of videos that talk about what is content writing, how to get started, what are the two, three things that you can do. I'm just putting a link to my YouTube channel in the chat, uh, and you can uh, go check out those videos to answer this question. How to use LinkedIn for building personal brand for content writing? Again, my views differ a bit here. I don't think you need to do um, content writing, like do posts every day to build your brand. If you can, I would prefer that you actually write articles and get them published on some online platforms. There are a lot of online platforms today that are willing to publish articles from guest authors, right? And that builds more credibility, because if you can say, I was published in that platform, people already know that other people are valuing your content. LinkedIn is like you're just pushing stuff, right? I wrote this, I wrote that, and it like sometimes it's also off-putting, right? How many stories can you tell? So I have a very different approach to LinkedIn, and again gets covered in the course. But it is about building a nice, clean profile which showcases the value to a person who's looking at your profile. But it doesn't mean that you just keep posting stuff from your on your feed every day, right? And on again, I think on the YouTube channel there is a video on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So please go check that out also. Oh boy, there are a lot of questions and we're running a bit out of time because I think there's another call, but I'll take a few more questions. And maybe I'll do a couple of emails that will help answer the rest of them. Okay. Uh, what are the other avenues that we can expect from the course apart from your references? You also help in getting opportunities. So I will tell you how to find clients. I will not find clients for you, right? So that I want to be very clear. You will have to put in the work to go and follow the steps I'm telling you to find those clients. With AI, is there still demand for content writers? Yes, because today, if you've used AI, you would realize that a lot of the stuff it turns out is pretty similar. You can literally look at a piece and say, this is AI content. So writers who can think, who can bring in original ideas, who can narrate original stories are really in demand still. Like I said, my rates were just upped from something that I was charging 40,000 rupees to double 80,000 for 1,500 words because of the value I bring to the table, right? Uh, can I do content copywriting both simultaneously? Yes. Um, can I join the content 8-week program as a student? Yes. There has actually been a student who joined who was a class 10 student, even though I told her mother she might be too young to do it, but her mother was insistent that no, she wants her to be exposed early on to this. So yes, as a student, you can definitely uh, join in. Uh, how can I start without any experience? Which is where the samples, the portfolio that you build comes in, which is where the network you can tap into comes in. And initially, you might have to do a few samples, free samples or pilot programs to get it, right? So that's the way to build that. Plus, like I said, there are a couple of programs how to build a kick-ass portfolio, how to start 3 steps to start a content as a content writer. Go watch those. I answer this in detail there. Sorry, I'm rushing a bit because we're a bit late on this, but All these answers are available on the YouTube channel, which is important while writing articles from SEO point of view. None of these. It is how valuable your content is to the reader. Okay. What you've written here, AI detection, plagiarism, readability, these are hygiene factors. They have to be there for anything that you write. It has to be the value to the reader. Pricing of the program, Fahim will tell you once we find a fit. What topics can I select for content writing? Anything under the sun. You write whatever you feel like. Um, okay, so I'm just quickly running through the chat window as well. Uh, okay, all of this is about how can I learn content writing through my 8-week intensive course. Uh, and no, I did not have a mentor. I learned it by myself. Uh, yes, whether you're a student, whether you're starting out after a gap, whether you are a professional wanting to do it as a side hustle, all of that is possible only if you're willing to learn. Okay, so don't come with the mindset that there is some magic shortcut in this course. There is not. We are going to grill you. We are going to make you face the issues that are holding you back, and we are going to make you practice writing. Okay, so we are going to do all of that. So if you're prepared to do it, only then apply to the course. I'm going to finally share the link once more. And if you are interested, fill it up and we can have another chat to see how this program can benefit you. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, folks, for being a lovely interactive audience. And hopefully, I will see you guys soon. Yeah. Take care and have a great weekend. It was lovely to have you here. Bye bye.